This presidential election, Democrats hope they can turn Arizona from a reliably Republican state to a state that will send Hillary Clinton to the White House. Today, a large crowd packed into Sunnyside High School to see Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Kaine make the case for the Clinton-Kaine ticket.
Senator Kaine told the crowd Hillary Clinton has a history of caring for people and getting results that will carry into a Clinton presidency, while claiming Donald Trump is pushing failed economic policies that would only help the rich like Trump himself. Kaine repeated the Democratic push to get out the vote.
You can't take anything for granted. Can't take anything for granted because Donald Trump's doing a lot of whining. You hear he's saying, oh, the election is rigged. He's setting it up so that if he loses, he's going to blame everybody else rather than take responsibility for himself. Well, he can whine all he wants, but if we work hard and win big, the bigger we win, the harder it is for him to convince anybody that he's anything other than a sore loser.
KGUN-9 on your side's Craig Smith was able to get a one-on-one interview with Senator Kaine. Here's a portion of it now.
In this poll-obsessed world, what do you make of the way the polls have contracted in the past week or so? What do you think's driving that?
Well, it's what I told Hillary we ought to expect. I encouraged her to run in April of 2014, and I said, but if you do, and she didn't announce for another year, I said, if you do, it's going to be close to the end because you're trying to do something that hasn't been done. And often what you see is undecideds kind of go back to their natural place, and then polls tighten. I've seen that in my own races often. I like where we are. I would rather be us than them in terms of paths to victory, but we're taking nothing for granted. And so, you know, every day we're in 2 or 3 cities all over the country. And now we're in that phase of it's person-to-person, early vote especially.
Now, why do you think anybody would be still undecided at this late stage?
It is hard to believe. I'm a guy who tends to make up my mind a little on the earlier side, but some people, you know, they're just wanting to get more and more information, or even if they've decided, they haven't declared how they're going to go. So we just got to keep persuading. We do have a very good organization, and we really are excited about what we're seeing in early vote in Arizona. You can vote through the end of the day tomorrow, but the turnout thus far has been really favorable to us.
What's changed the climate in Arizona for this?
You know, this is a state, when I was chairman of the National Democratic Party from 2010, it was actually 2009 to 2011, I looked at Arizona. This is a state that might well be Democratic in a few years. Demographic changes is moving it, but I think Donald Trump's uniquely kind of hard and divisive campaign has pushed a lot of independents our way, has energized a lot of folks who might have been supporters but not regular voters, and has even taken moderate Republicans, we see this in Virginia, and moved them over into the Democratic camp.
Do you think the new move by the FBI has swung the polls at all?
It didn't look like it. The polls were starting to tighten in the middle of last week before that came out, and it looked like that trend has not really accelerated, but it's just the sort of natural tightening that we would expect at the end of a race. I think most people have figured out what they think about that issue. It's been so well covered now for a year and a half. People have either kind of said, well, okay, I'm concerned about this, or probably 70% of Americans have decided that, you know, the issues that I really care about are more the how to grow an economy that works for everybody or how to be safe in a dangerous world.
We also asked Senator Kaine why many voters see both presidential candidates as unpopular and how Democrats hope to persuade any remaining undecided voters to vote for Clinton and Kaine. You can see the full interview later tonight on KGUN9.com.